Hello, we're back for Big Riff Energy episode 9, and I have the man, the myth, the legend, the elder statesman of Texas hardcore and extreme music, wow. Mr. Champ Morgan. Wow. First guest ever.
That's an intro.
Yeah.
There's an intro right there.
Isn't it?
Questionable.
Yeah.
Questionable at best.
So Champ and I, we have some things in common. Both grew up in Oklahoma.
I'm a full-blown Okie.
Yeah. Both into combat sports, metal, old school metal.
Lots of that.
Yeah. But you've had quite a life, man.
I've tried to live it.
Yeah. Grew up wrestling.
Very much so. Heck yeah, the NCAA tournament was last week.
Supposed to go, but didn't, huh?
Well, I was supposed to. There was a person that was involved that was supposed to facilitate all of that, and I kind of gave up on it. But.
Yeah. So grew up wrestling, though. Served in the armed forces.
Did that too.
Was stationed in Germany for a while, so you got to see like every metal band.
Yeah, that was kind of a crazy time because I went from living in Oklahoma, then I moved to the panhandle of Texas where there's fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then being stationed in Germany where there's shows all the time. You know, so it went to like never really ever seeing, like my first metal concert was Night Ranger and Helix.
Not bad.
Good start, you know, get to see Kerry Kenny front of stage playing drums sideways singing.
Uh-huh.
And then go right to Germany, you know, and then within like 6 months of being there, I'm seeing Metallica and Dio together.
Jesus.
You know, it's just like a fucking dream come true.
Who all did you see over there?
Oh,
give it like the top 10 or 20.
I mean, Slayer during Seasons of the Abyss, Metallica at the end of And Justice for All tour because they toured for 2.5 years.
And Queensryche was on that one?
Queensryche. Well, no, when I saw them, it was called Metallica Fest. And it was the last 6 shows of that 2.5 year run. And it was like few in Europe and then like one in Russia. And that was like the big, when you see the Metallica video from Russia.
Yeah, yeah. The black and white one.
Yeah, it's that. It was from the end of that tour, which was like the very end of Justice. And then I saw them again when the Black album came out, right before I left.
Mm-hmm.
And that was AC/DC, Metallica, Motley Crue, last on Dr. Feelgood, the last one with Vince Neil, Queensryche on Empire, and believe it or not, the Black Crowes on Shake Your Moneymaker.
That band rules.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
I listen to them
fucking rules.
Weekly still.
Isaiah from Earthless is in that band now. You ever heard of Earthless?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
He's playing lead guitar. One of the best guitarists ever. Who else? So,
I mean,
Slayer on Seasons, Metallica.
Dio. I saw Scorpions in Germany, which was incredible. I saw Christmas Metal Meetings 1992, which was Motorhead, Creator, Sepultura on a Rise, and Morbid Angel.
Jesus.
And it was fucking ridiculous. Got knocked out at that show.
Dude, that's funny. I got knocked out back to back the first time I saw Morbid Angel.
Nice. There you go.
That last Scion Fest. I got like double concussed. I don't remember I think they had, I know Obituary played and Morbid Angel played, and I don't remember.
I've still never seen Obituary, which should be a crime.
That is a crime.
Punishable by.
I can't believe that.
I know.
You've seen everybody.
I know. I've seen.
You saw a coroner over there?
Oh, no. I wish.
Really?
Oh, my God.
Damn.
That would have.
I thought you did.
No.
I can't keep shit straight. It's too many, man.
I've seen. I mean, I think when I left, I'd counted up because I used to just like write. I had a list that I wrote down like every band that I saw, and being there 2 years, I saw like 300 plus bands, close to 400 bands.
Damn.
Rollins band. I saw the fucking Rollins band on Into Silence tour. I saw them twice on that. Life changing, literally. The first time I ever went sober was after seeing the Rollins band.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's another thing we have in common. Couple sober dicks.
Yeah.
Who used to, we're both, I would say we're both wired kind of hot.
Hard in the paint.
Yeah. Went real hard and still going hard, but like in different ways.
Yeah,
So
in a way different direction.
I was, talking to my wife the other day, I just saw a comment that you made or something, and I just said to her, like, I've never met anybody that's, I'm not going to try to not fan out on you here too hard, but I told her something like, I've never met anybody who was more consistently supportive and vocally supportive, and just like, if anybody that is in your orbit is doing something, anything, starting something, attempting something, whether it's like bettering their fitness or like starting a business or a band or whatever, like you're probably the most uplifting and like supportive guy I know. And I'd imagine the Rollins band and the Henry Rollins thing sort of contributed to that, because he's a kind of like go get 'em kind of guy.
Very much so. Like when I say that, like seeing the Rollins band changed my life, it legitimately did. You know, it was, and the one thing is for the longest time, I didn't have a very good support structure of my own. You know what I mean? So when I see something that a friend of mine does, or someone that is inside of my circle, then I always try to support them, because there was a whole long period of time in my life when no one supported anything I ever did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if
Oklahoma, dude.
Yeah, Oklahoma. I just try to help, you know, if you do something that I like, I'm going to support it. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to buy your demo, you know, I'm going to buy your record, you know, I mean, I'm going to post about it. I'm going to do whatever I can to help you, because I mean, even if it's small, I mean, it's just, you
know what it's like to not.
I know what it's like to not, and I know that even small things help other people.
Yeah, totally. And it means a lot to people, man. I got this friend, because I grew up in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Oh, I got
small. You probably had a feud with the wrestling thing.
Yeah, I got thrown out of that.
Yeah,
I got thrown out of that junior high gym at that wrestling.
I'm sure. But I got. So we had a venue there that was run by these weird hippies. It was like this hippie family, and I'm pretty sure they low key were like living there. But we started playing shows 13, 14, 15 years old, definitely couldn't drive. And it was like hell getting even like our best buds to come support us, you know? And I got this friend, I'm going to shout him out. His name's Ryan. He was a year older than me. And he wasn't really ever into metal or anything like that. But he was a guitar player. He liked Stevie Ray Vaughan and shit like that.
Yep.
We all do. Real clean cut guy, like super nice guy. Not like how I was at all. Like just a real straight and narrow dude, real nice guy. And I'll never forget, dude, he's kind of like heard some of our music or saw us once or something. And then he just kept coming to see us because he liked the guitar playing, I guess. And he liked us, you know. I just never forgot that. And every time I play St. Vitus Bar now, right before we start playing, I hear somebody scream my name and I'll look up and there's this motherfucker, Ryan, dressed just like total normal, clean cut guy in the midst of all that like St. Vitus crowd and
all the dirt bags. There's like,
I'm sure people feel the same way about you,
like
man.
a diamond in the rough.
Yeah. I mean, you're a dirtbag, but people also probably feel the way about you that I feel about Ryan.
Yeah. I mean, like positive wise, like I think one of the things
you're not really a dirtbag. Sorry. We both are.
I do take showers. I do take showers. Like one of the things that I say, and I've caught myself saying it, is that it takes no effort to be a good person. It literally takes absolutely no effort. You know, it takes more energy to be a fucking asshole.
It really does, man.
Than it just be like, tell somebody you like their band, interact with somebody in a positive way. Like if somebody needs help them. You're already pre-wired to do it. Mm-hmm. It's just you've, for the most part, have been beaten down enough by life and society that you just become like just a hard prick. And I've been that guy, and I can easily turn that back on.
Me too.
It doesn't take much to get that switch flipped.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, in recent times, especially since I've been sober, you know, just trying to be more positive. Even if I can't be positive about myself, then I'll do it to help somebody else.
Totally, man. Yeah, and I've realized with me, if I'm being a dick to somebody, or if I have a confrontation with somebody, if it's me causing it, it doesn't have anything to do with them. It has something to do with me. And I've realized if people are doing something to me that I perceive as being hurtful or malicious, usually it's some kind of problem that they're having, and it's easy to take it personally. But yeah, I think most of the conflict that we have with other people, it stems from somewhere internal. You know, it's like something that people aren't mean to, like internet shit talkers.
Yeah.
If you're feeling good about your life, the last thing you're going to do is take the time to try to hurt somebody else's feelings or whatever. So I think all of that conflict, you know, it's like we all have to try to be more aware of like taking personal responsibility of not allowing whatever we're dealing with to be like, to force us to lash out at other people, you know?
Yeah.
You're real good about that. I know you struggle with a lot of shit, and you've never been a dick to anybody that I'm aware of ever.
I've been a dick to a lot of people.
Maybe in the past. Not since I've known you. So,
yeah.
all right. Well, you get back from the whole Germany thing. When did you start working for Roadrunner?
So I came back from Germany to the States. I was at Fort Hood for 2 years. Then I got out of the military in 93, worked natural gas pipeline construction for a year, and then I moved to Dallas to go to college. And I went to the Art Institute of Dallas, which was a gigantic waste of time and money. But it did give me some inroads to an internship at Roadrunner and Red Records Distribution, which shared an office. So I was an unpaid intern for shit. I did that for like over 2 years, and then I became a paid intern for Roadrunner at the believed promise that I was going to be working for Roadrunner directly when I graduated out of school, because I was in school for music production and business. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as I graduated, they were like, "Oh well, you know, sorry, we appreciate all your help."
No shock there,
you know, for the last couple of years, but you know, there's no job. So then I just, you know, joined the workforce with a diploma that meant nothing. And
sure, like so many others.
Yeah.
But you, I mean, you were there kind of at the height of, like everyone would consider it the golden period.
The golden era of Roadrunner. I was there. It was Life of Agony, Typo Negative, who I know you're a giant fan of, unfortunately. And there's a great story.
I've heard it. You can tell it if you want to. No, it's up to you.
But it was like Sepultura played nonstop. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like Madball, Obituary had signed. Unfortunately, I never got to see them, but there were other bands too, like Shelter, Dog Eat Dog. I mean, plus all, like, since I worked at Red Records Distribution too, that they had Victory. So it was like, you know, when Hatebreed first came out, you know, and like all, you know, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it was
You're
like
right in the middle of it too.
And I was right in the middle of it. I worked all those records for all those bands, saw those bands. Dude, I saw Fear Factory during Demanufacture. That was like their golden age, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And they played at the White Rabbit in San Antonio with fucking Iron Maiden, because it was when Blaze Bayley was singing, and Maiden had went back to playing some larger clubs.
Sure.
But it was insane to see, like, you know, like the pinnacle of Fear Factory open for Iron Maiden in a fucking club.
Yeah.
And being backstage and being like, oh my God, that's Steve Harris right there.
Yeah. See, I was just talking about, you know, the 90s, like the peaks and valleys of like what I would call real metal. A lot of people call it traditional metal, but I think it's just
real
metal, just metal.
Yeah.
And like, that's probably around the same time that Dio wrote about where he was kind of scraping by. But that, yeah, it's like, it's hard to fathom even in the 90s, which is a while ago now, but it isn't, that Dio and Iron Maiden could just be playing clubs.
In a club. It was crazy.
It makes no sense. It makes me feel a little better, you know, because we're playing clubs and theaters and stuff like that. And it's like, once you get enough years of experience, you start to realize that this shit just comes and goes in waves, you know? And I feel like in 2006, when The Sword came out, that kind of like jump started like the old school metal thing. And now it's sort of like faded back out again. And
it was crazy with that band too, because I mean, they literally popped within, it seemed like a month.
Instantly. Yeah.
Because I saw them in Dallas at Double Wide, and all they had out was a little CD demo with handwritten on it, 3-song demo. I still have it. I still have it at home.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, they're like, oh yeah, we're The Sword, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, it's, sounds like kind of like Black Sabbath, and it's super
Priest a little bit.
Yeah, it had some really cool parts. And then like a month later, they're asking for like a $10,000 guarantee and getting ready to get signed. And I'm like, dude, I was just having beers with these dudes. Like,
dude.
What the fuck?
Timing. It just hit at the right time. I think people were kind of sick of nu metal by that time.
No, they
over it.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah,
about
we don't
how
have to talk
terrible
about it.
that
I already talked shit about it a lot. Like I've only done 9 episodes. I think I've talked shit about it like every episode.
You don't have any sandwiches in your hands to throw either, so
let's not bring that up either.
I know you love bringing that
Eaten
up.
Alive, that one. Okay, so then you started playing in bands. I would say I became aware of who you were, I guess, with Kill the Client. You guys,
that was literally my first band.
And you got signed to Relapse.
Yeah, we ended up on Relapse. Yeah, it was like, because like I was in the music industry, working for Roadrunner and then helping other people in other bands, and I was never in a band by my at all. And I was just like, I always wanted to be. It's like I always wrote and had stuff. I was just never worked with anybody. And then I was hanging out with Jerry Rutherford, who used to write for Metal Maniacs. He lives in Dallas, and he was like, "Man, I got these. Why are you not in a band?" It's like, I don't fucking know. I mean, I guess I'm that much of an asshole that I can't, I can't really, no one can fucking take it. And he's like, I got a couple guys I want you to meet. And I met Mike McCormick, who's also known as Stumpy, and Dave Ibanez. And then we started like a metalcore band, and it started called Dead Right There. It started getting we were starting to get a little bit of popularity in Dallas, and then Kill the Client started, and I joined that band, and Kill the Client just fucking took off.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were playing Maryland Death Fest all the time.
Yeah, we played Maryland Death Fest 3 times, I want to say.
Yeah.
And one in 2009 was probably one of the best shows I ever played in my life.
Who was on that one?
Bolt Thrower.
Okay.
Bolt Thrower, Napalm Death.
Cool.
That's when I met Josh Barnett, who...
oh, yeah, I met him.
Yeah, I was, we had gotten done playing, and, it was late. Right before Bolt Thrower played, I walked through because there was an outdoor venue, and there was an indoor side, and the VIP section was the connection between the two. And I walked out, and I just saw like a mountain of a fucking human being.
The War Master. And
I kind of stopped, because I'm, in and out of the peripheral, I was like, is that Josh Barnett? And I turned around and looked at him, and I was like, Josh? And he was like, how you doing? And like shook my hand, and his hand's like giant. I felt like a child, like shaking an adult's hand, and I was like, what are you doing here? And he just like looked at me like I was fucking stupid and points, and he's like,
they play my walkout music.
And he just points, and he's like, Bolt Thrower? Yeah. And I was like, oh shit.
That's funny, because I met him when Gatecreeper played in LA on a tour with Nails.
Oh, nice.
And I just saw him like lingering. I think somebody knew, maybe Todd or somebody, Leon, knew that I was into MMA and was like, dude, Josh Barnett's here. Or maybe it was somebody in Gatecreeper told me. But he was like kind of the last guy, like one of the last guys.
Yeah.
Standing there in a leather jacket.
Always in the ever-present leather.
I ran up to him and just introduced myself, and he said, hey, you guys sound like Bolt Thrower.
Nice.
So that's like his favorite band.
Oh, he loves Bolt Thrower, dude. He loves metal, period. And I stood and talked to him for a while, and he, I was like, we're playing tomorrow if you're going to be hanging out. And he was like, man, I got to catch a flight early, but I know Lair the Minotaur's playing tomorrow.
They give him 2 seats, I wonder.
Probably. He's a big man. And he's friends with the Lair guys.
I love that band. I forgot about that. I didn't forget about that band.
They were fucking great, dude.
But I haven't heard that
Steve
name in a while.
Almost moved here, the guy that played guitar and sang.
Oh, yeah?
But then he decided against it. But he was like, well, I'm just thinking about, like maybe canceling my flight and rescheduling. And I was like, well, they play right before us. So if you decide, like not thinking that he would do it. And then he fucking like showed up. I was like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, fuck it, man. I just want to hang out and see Steve and Lair, and I'm interested in seeing you guys. And, we played probably one of the best shows we ever played. And then he stood in the line at the merch booth with like everyone. And we had like a line, an unbelievably long, it saved the entire tour, the amount of merch we sold at that singular show.
Wow.
And then he's like, I'll take one of everything and would not take a single thing for free.
Wow.
And I was like, just take it all, dude. We're getting ready to drive back to Dallas. And he was like, nope. He's like, no gas is getting in that van for free. and literally fucking refused to take anything for free, paid for everything.
That's baller.
Dude,
Respect to Josh Barnett.
Hell yeah, dude.
He seems cool as hell.
He's real cool.
Yeah.
I
but
think
also like a little, there's something in there.
well, he's a killer.
Yeah.
He's already thinking about how he's going to drink the blood out of the fucking stump of your arm.
Yeah. Just in case he has to. Yeah.
I think a good time would be hanging out with him and Eugene Robinson at the same time.
Oh yeah. Dude, the first podcast I did, I did a podcast called Riffs and Fists, and I talked to some cool folks, and somebody gave me, I forget who it was, somebody gave me Eugene's contact info and told me to get a hold of him because, I mean, he was like, would have been the perfect guest for that because it was about martial arts and metal. But then I stopped doing the fucking podcast. So maybe I'll hit him up. I'm trying to only do in-person guests on this one because I think this is like the Zoom thing.
It's a little hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to Eugene, I can't say quite a bit, but we kind of go back and talk back and forth.
Well, if he's ever in Austin, have him.
I'm trying to figure out to get if Oxbow and Black Ops can ever do anything together.
Oh yeah,
I would love to do that. I would love to tour with Oxbow.
So I don't remember exactly how you and I met. It's one of those things where it's like every scene and every town or state kind of has like a guy, or sometimes there's a couple, but you're kind of like the guy around here. I would say me and Chase from Gatecreeper were kind of the guys in Phoenix as far as like giving people bands places to crash. And
yeah, I was more that way in Dallas beforehand, and then when I moved here, it was a little bit the same. But yeah, I mean, in Dallas, I literally had an open door policy.
You were the guy.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. But how did we meet? I'm sure it was at a show.
It was definitely at a show. I think Gatecreeper played here. It may have been at South by.
Could be.
Like maybe 2000
that would have been 17 when me and Chase did 6 sets.
It was something
because like we're both bands playing. Because then there was the later tour in 17 in December. We toured with Power Trip and Cannibal Corpse, played the Mohawk. But I think we had met before that. You were definitely there.
I had met you before that.
I remember hanging out with you that night. Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, because I came 17. To that show, and that was the first time that I met the other guitar player that was in Gatecreeper.
Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big dude.
Did we meet when I was in Toad?
No. I
sure? Because we played what the fuck? Oh, Lostwell. Dude, I couldn't think of the name. We played Lostwell with Mark's band. When they changed their name to Clairvoyant?
Then maybe.
I think that's probably
that's a higher possibility.
Because I was a fan of the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
And I saw we were booked to play with some band called Clairvoyant. And I was like, never heard of that band. And I ran into Mark and saw his road case said the Dead Sea on it. And I was like, dude, I love that band. And he was like, oh, that's us.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Did he giggle talk like,
yeah. He was psyched.
Dude, that is the single best thing about being in a band with him is that he giggle talks. I don't give a shit how much my day has been stressed out, how much I want to walk out in traffic and just fucking turn the lights off. As soon as I hear him giggle talking about anything, it's like,
yeah,
it's the fucking best.
Magical. He reminds me a little bit of my buddy Chuck from Deadbird from Little Rock.
Chuck, yeah.
Similar personalities. They just make everybody happier when they're around.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool.
There's a countless amount of times that he's saved my life and he doesn't even know it just by talking to him.
I believe it, man. Well, look what just showed up. I don't know if they can see that. You might have to duck down even lower than you are already.
That's some serious big riff.
Yeah, it's fitting because Triptychon's doing the early Celtic Frost set. Yeah, I guess
Jason's
as
at
we
that show
speak.
right now.
Yeah, at Hell's.
You saw Hellhammer on
Hell's
Thursday.
Heroes. Oh yeah,
yeah,
cool.
Said it was good.
I believe it.
Triptychon is good. I mean,
did you ever see Celtic Frost?
Actually, I did.
Monotheist or
Monotheist tour. They were supposed to be opening, which I never understood, for your band Typo Negative. And
even I think that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And Peter still got sick, so the venue refunded everyone's money, then charged you $5 to get back in. And I saw Celtic Frost play for 2 hours and 10 minutes
For $5?
for $5.
Nice.
And it was one of the greatest things ever. Because like Tom Warrior came out and he was just like, unfortunately, you know, Peter's sick. And if you guys don't mind, we're going to play for a really long, long time. And then everyone's like, fuck yes.
Yeah. Man, I love Typo, but I would have not even cared.
Holy
about that.
shit, dude. They played like I mean, like everything you ever thought you wanted to hear from Celtic Frost, they played it.
I like that Monotheist album a lot, too. It's evil.
That is
It's
my
like
number 2.
brutal. It might be
Number 2.
mine, too. That's my number 1.
Morbid Tales number 1.
To Mega Therion is my number
That's
1.
my number 3.
That's your 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do we have to say about To Mega Therion other than, ooh? That's it. That's, dude, he fucked himself up.
There you go.
Getting
too,
old,
too
kids.
powerful.
This is what y'all have to look forward to.
Yeah, this is you have this. You have old. This is what you look forward to in old age.
Okay, so tell everybody what you're doing now.
Now I have my main band is Black Ops, which is me, the man, the myth, the magic that is Mark Key, that from the Dead Sea.
Giggle
That's
talker.
like more thing. That's probably where I did meet you because I did not miss a Dead Sea show.
Yeah,
I love them.
that would make sense. That was the end of 2015.
Yeah,
So we've known each other a while.
they were incredible. It's me and Mark, and then Kurt Lancaster. He's from Rochester, New York. He used to be in Calabas a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you know, our crazy noise rock band, no bass player, just my noise rig, Mark's big riffs and crazy drums.
It's good. I'll vouch for it. We played together. Spirit Drift's only played one Austin show since I've lived here.
Yeah,
you guys played it, and Duel played it, and it's good. Seal of approval. Big riffs.
The Mighty Easy Prey played that show too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Love those dudes. Yeah. I have that going. That's my main thing, and then I have Triage, which is basically kill the client with a different bass player. So same stuff, you know, full on grind, you know. And
great record that you guys put out.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
the new one's gonna be. There's already like I think 4 songs.
Cool.
Musically ready to go.
I'm really picky with grindcore. Like really, I only like probably half a dozen grindcore bands, and I like shit you've done a lot.
I'm real picky about it too.
What? Napalm, Nasm, Pig Destroyer.
Those are your top 3. Rotten Sound.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, I love those dudes. We played a bunch of shows with them too. Drop Dead.
Yeah, they're good.
Love them. And then I have another thing, that Lethal Weapon thing going with Ronnie and Mike. That's also in
And me
and you
when I'm not
whenever you're not
drowning in bullshit.
rock starring it out. We'll do you like Joe Walsh when he was in the Eagles.
Yeah.
We'll just like roll you out before he was in the Eagles, just roll you out in a case and like play this solo and box you back up.
I'll do it. No, I want to get Ronnie on here sometime. He's like one of the most fascinating people I've ever met. And those Ronnie, talk about big riffs.
He's a machine.
Yeah, Ronnie Sterling.
He's the most
Lethal Weapon. You got to hear his riffs.
The most prolific thrash writer in the history.
Yeah, it's crazy.
History.
He's got the gift for sure.
It's crazy.
And he's got the ear, like when he imitates like Bobby Blitz and stuff. Like he just has that obsessive ear, you know.
Well, he does some great imitations, and they're all kind of in the same realm.
Yeah,
it's like
King Diamond,
Bobby Blitz, King Diamond, Udo Dirk. He does a great Udo, and then every now and then he will grace you with a Rob Halford.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that yet.
See, he wasn't feeling. He's got to be. The moon's got to be just right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually met Ronnie at a Slayer show.
Not surprising.
In 1998.
Wow.
Because it was supposed to be
Diabolus.
I don't even know.
I was just talking shit about that album.
I was shithouse drunk at that show trying to fight the entire crowd and no one would fight.
I believe it.
But it was like Slayer, Meshuggah in the early days, maybe Chaos Sphere era.
Whoa, cool.
And supposed to be sick of it all, but they canceled, and that's what made me mad.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all
so
downhill.
then you just
from
started
there.
to take that out.
Just
just like we were talking about.
Smashing.
See, it all connects. It all connects.
Yeah,
all right, man. Anything else? We're at 30 minutes.
Wow.
Which seems to be the magic number. Anything else you want to say to the great listeners of Big Riff Energy?
I love that intro, dude.
Thanks. Just like quadruple tracked it and just pitched it.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
so dope. But no, I listened to all the podcasts, and I really dig it, man, because I listened to this and I listened to Everything Went Black, and that's literally the only two music, or
Cool.
Cocaine and Rhinestones whenever that
Yeah,
happens.
dude, I
But
couldn't
it's
get
been a
into
while.
the second season of that. It was a little too like
Oh, it was very,
fucking
very
glitched out.
George Jones, like
Yeah.
focused.
Well, I love George Jones, but man, I did like how he was playing records where George sounded exactly like other people. Like I had always heard that his producers were trying to tell him like, stop sounding so much like Hank Williams. Just sound like yourself. You're great. I didn't understand that. Like he literally sounded. Well, I thought it was Hank Williams singing, and they're like, "This is what George Jones was doing for a while." And then he, like Ernest Tubb too. Like that's an ear. That guy had a fucking ear, man.
He was incredibly talented.
Yeah,
but incredibly damaged.
Yeah,
Very damaged human being
for sure. Well, I appreciate that. Those are good podcasts. All right. So yeah. We're going to have more guests at some point. Probably do a part 2 at some point.
Yeah, I feel like this is like blazed on by.
Dude, it does.
The only thing I can say to the audience is don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't drink. Work out. Read books.
Maybe try them, though, when you're young. Just try it. See what you think. But don't. But do.
Do it, but don't.